Alright guys, so yesterday was day 2 of President Ruto's China visit, and in this video I want us to look into what went down, and with no further ado, let's get after it. First up, President Ruto was very happy to be given compliments in China by a Ugandan lady, something that he never ever receives back at home except from his scared cabinet, which will always congratulate him for whatever it is he's doing, good or bad. Here's a tip.
Thank you very much, Madam Ama. Madam Ama. Thank you very much. It is very rare to get compliments from Kenyans. So you are amazing, and thank you very much for saying what it is. If somebody does something good, it is better if it is said. So thank you very much.
Personally, sitalaumu rais, wacha sherehekee the few compliments that he's getting abroad. Sababu akirudi Kenya, hii ndo program itakuwa inaendelea. Roll the tape.
Tuko na watu wengi hawana stima. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Ni kweli ama si kweli? Mimi nimekuja hapa ili tuhakikishe watu
Like I said, let the president enjoy China while he can. Kenya is a very hostile environment to him in specific. Hata si kwa wengine, kwake in specific. Because you can't say one thing and do the other. You say you won't fight your deputy, you end up impeaching. You won't increase taxes, then I don't even have to take you through it. You know the whole thing. That's why no one is complimenting him. Anywho, moving along. It has now become very clear to me what Ruto's main strategy for re-election is. And to be honest, if he succeeds, he might just shock people at the ballot in 2027. What am I talking about? Apparently, we've come to learn that the Kenyan government is trying to get their hands on 650 billion Kenya shillings, a loan from China, to extend the SGR from its dead end, which is currently in Maimayu, and they want to extend it all the way to Luo Nyanza and into Western. So we're talking about Kisumu, Homa Bay, we are talking about Kakamega, Bungoma, Busia, we are talking about Kisii. Let me assure you guys one thing. If this guy extends the SGR from Mali imekwama hapo Maimayu all the way into those territories, and people start using it wakienda nyumbani for December, that will defeat Tawe and that will defeat Ruto must go. It is that dangerous. And the danger for me is not even Ruto winning or losing in 2027. The danger is that if we get the SGR extended for an extra 650 billion, hiyo ni deni tunaenda kuachia watoto wetu. Ile tuko nayo tumeshindwa kulipa na tunaenda tukiongeza. It's a very bad habit that we have. Each and every time when a sitting president is about to face a re-election and the whole time amekuwa akizubaa afanyi kazi, first thing they do is run to China, take a ridiculous loan, come do one project which they can go brag with wakitafuta kura. The SGR was done by Uhuru Kenyatta right before the 2017 elections. It was a race to ensure that by the time rais anaomba kura SGR ikuwa inafanya kazi. Now we seem to be in another race. Ati kabla rais aende kuomba kura 2027, SGR ikuwa imefikishwa huko Bungoma, Busia, Kisumu, Siaya and so on. Look, it's not always good to shoot down good ideas. We need the SGR, we want the SGR. I'm sure there's many people who will appreciate being able to go from Mombasa, not just to Nairobi, but also to Nakuru and probably Eldoret or even Kisumu and so on. But can we do it in such a way where we don't have a ballooning national debt? Unajua hii kitu inauma sana sababu the person who is there trying to acquire this 650 billion is the same person who used to say this.
Na sisi kama serikali tutakuwa na pesa ya kuendesha serikali. Hatutakuwa tunatafuta madeni kutoka China na mahali ingine ambayo sasa inatuletea kisirani. Nyinyi mnanielewa jameni? Sifanya biashara.
Ni vile ameingia kwa kiti amesahau. And the people who are giving him sound advice ataki kuwasikia. I was listening to Didi Nyoro, and Nyoro was saying that there is a way we can do projects without borrowing. And one prime example he gave is offloading government shares and assets. For instance, the government has a stake in Safaricom PLC worth 300 billion Kenya shillings. If they were to sell that stake, they have half the money that they need to do SGR. They then go to another sector. Let them sell their stake in KPLC. If anything, they are running it badly. Let them sell enough stake to raise the remaining 350 billion. Na ndio hiyo SGR tayari tuko nayo. Who are they selling these shares to? Fellow Kenyans. Hakuna deni tumeomba, hakuna asset wamepoteza sababu ni Wakenya wamenunua. In future they can always buy those same shares from Kenyans if need be. Itakuwa tu imewekwa in the custody of good citizens. Here's Nyoro explaining this.
Kenya, we must be very prudent in the management of our debt. Whether we like it or not, that is a very great threat that we face as an economy. Ukiangalia fedha ambazo tunakopa kama nchi, I believe there is another better way we can manage our public resources bila kuongezea Wakenya hapo beleni madeni kubwa. Na tukisema hayo, tunasema pia tukioffer solutions. And I gave the other day, instead of borrowing money that we are borrowing, for example, and these are things that I used to say even when I was serving in the previous position. If you check in all the Hansards in parliament, I always used to raise these issues. Government assets exist to make money for the government. They do not exist as jewels. Zile assets ambazo serikali iko nazo, zingine hata hakuna fedha iliwekwa hapo. Government stake, for example, in Safaricom is more than or going to 300 billion Kenya shillings. It was more before. If we value an asset like Safaricom very well, the government can easily get the monies that we are borrowing externally by selling just a proportion of Safaricom as an institution. And the government can still continue influencing the decision in Safaricom through the regulators. Na kwa hivyo tuangalie other ways that we can raise resources za nchi, kwa sababu tukiendelea na mwenendo wa kukopa sana, wale watabeba mzigo ni wale wanakuja hapo beleni, na pia wale wako watakuwa na threat ya kwamba tukiweka mzigo ambayo italeta shida ya kwamba hata Kenya haiwezi lipa hiyo kodi. The effects are catastrophic.
So the main take home, SGR imefunga rais macho. That is what he wants to do in between now and 2027. Ajali deni itatoka wapi, bora afanye hiyo kazi. And if he does it, I've told you guys, in Western Kenya and in Nyanza, guys will overwhelmingly vote for Ruto. Sababu watu wengi hawaelewi deni ni nini. Wanataka tu maendeleo. Uhuru aliletea wengi maendeleo. He took the country at what? 4 trillion debt, left it at 11.5 trillion. People don't even care about the national debt. Most people don't understand how dire of a situation we are in. They just want to say, oh, Uhuru did expressway, Uhuru did SGR, but ametuachia deni. I'm just hoping Rais Ruto asichukue hiyo mtindo. Wacha afanye SGR vile anataka, but do it in the Didi Nyoro way. Don't go borrow again. You can raise that money locally by the government just being a government. Stop being a business partner or a business entity. Uzeni hizo shares mko nazo, sanya pesa, fanya mradi. Anyway, at the end of the day, guys, that's just my take. What say you? Do you think the president is on the right trajectory by doing SGR? I would say yes, but what say you? And on the other issue of borrowing, I would personally recommend the Didi Nyoro way, where we dump assets, not to foreign investors, but to our able citizens who have the money, and in so doing, they help our government raise some chums to go do the SGR without ever signing any document to the Chinese government. Mambo ingine ni so straightforward, lakini watu hawataki kukusikiza kama wewe si wa rais. So leo liwalo, let's see what happens out of China. I'm just hoping wasipewe hiyo loan, watafute mbinu ingine, but let's wait and see. At the end of the day, guys, that's just my take. Do let me know your own comments in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to read them and to give you a response. And in the event you're here for the first time, please go on and hit the subscribe button. And if you're watching for a different platform, just head on over to YouTube, search for David Wafula, hit the subscribe button, and you're going to be getting a ton of content of this nature. If politics is something you're passionate about, this is definitely the one channel that you really need to subscribe to. Alright guys, adios. Thank you for choosing David Wafula as your primary news platform. We put countless hours in research, recording, and editing. By showing up each and every day to watch our videos, you encourage us to generate more videos for the viewers. We are on a mission to inform, educate, and build a better tomorrow. To our thousands of followers in a world full of presidents, kings, and queens, you are the real gem. Adios.